there. Just going over my monthly bills. This economy is killing me. Luckily, I'm with a small bank. They have better control over their money. At least I know they can back up what they say. I heard that a new government regulation is that small banks have to keep 7% of their capital backed up. And larger banks have even a harder time. They have to keep 9.5% of their capital backed up. I bet these new regulations came from that Lehman Brothers case. Also, listen to this. The Federal Reserve is going to be announcing their interest rates and their funding. How incredible is that? Not only will I be able to predict how the Wall Street stock market is going to be going, but I can also be reassured that my wallet isn't going to be drained every single time that the stocks drop or there's some unpredictable case. Also, I've been hearing a lot about the jobs lately. I myself am a small business owner, so usually I'm in pretty good control of my finances. However, 2 new stores just opened up on my block. Now, these store owners are very young. I don't understand how this could possibly improve the economy if young business owners go into business. Opening up a big store like that, it takes a lot of guts. And frankly, it's kind of risky. But I do have to say, I read an article earlier about how young entrepreneurs actually increase the job market. And there was a little tidbit in there that really changed my mind. 3 million jobs were given by newer firms and newer store owners, while over 100,000 were let go by old companies. Now, being an older business person, being in business for a while, knowing how the cogs and wheels work, it's kind of hard to believe that many people were let go. I find it even more incredible to believe that 3 million were given jobs. I personally believe that education is a big factor here. If someone has a lower degree level, they may not get the job that they want, or get a job that pays as well. Now, when my parents were kids, they said only about 60% of their class graduated, or at least were college bound. I find this very true, and very easy to believe, because the national average of college-bound students through the 50s and through the 60s is about 60%. Now today, one can see that if you have a higher degree, you're obviously going to be paid more money. But it's surprising. People with even bachelor degrees or associate degrees are paid minimum wage or that of menial labor. Now, the middle-class job market is growing smaller. Believe it or not, the higher class jobs and the lower class jobs are becoming smaller and closer together. Now, I don't know how this could be a good thing, but maybe this will lead to some improvement, or maybe we'll just be in a big ditch here. But I have a question. Will we either be very rich or very poor? This idea to me does not sound good, especially with the housing market right now. You need especially a lot of money to go into the housing market. When I first bought this house, there was something called a term adjustment mortgage, and it was the best thing ever. It was a part of the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac institutions. Now, these institutions are well known in some areas, and in some areas not so well. A senator of Georgia, actually, Johnny Isaacson, is planning on bringing up a bill that is going to get rid of this. And I can see why, because the companies in charge of these two institutions decided to go into something called the subprime loan market. Crazy. They shouldn't have gone into that. Even though it was great for everybody else, I myself thought it was the most amazing thing ever. I got to put down a low payment onto my house, low down payment that is, and I still got low interest rates. It was a win-win situation. However, when they did this, banks were issuing out mortgages to people that didn't have the traditional mortgage criteria. These people, when the rates started to go up, since it's adjustable, they weren't able to pay off their mortgages. And so, the banks were losing money and people were losing money and starting to have to do foreclosures. Now, however, since it is being outlawed, basically, you're able to do long-term renting, and it's becoming very popular. My friend just down the street is doing long-term renting right now. It's going great. You don't have to pay for utilities usually, no property tax, and the interest rate doesn't go up, stays the same. So that's awesome. Now, to get a new house is very difficult. There are some new developments going on just downtown, and I really wanted to buy one at first, but I started to look into it, and the interest rates were high, the property taxes were even higher since it's new developments, and the mortgages were obscene. I would have to be extremely wealthy to get even pre-approved to buy a house like that, which is my next piece of advice. To all of you who are thinking about doing homeowning or getting into the homeowning business or buying a house for your family settling down, make sure you check out these 3 things: interest rates, property tax, and all the hidden fees. Sooner or later, you could be paying up to like $800 in utilities or just on the air conditioning of the house. And if it's not a big house, then there's no point in doing that. Anyways, speaking of interest rates, I need to get back to my bills.